Video, I will show how Prometheum implements an AI-enabled data fabric to power rapid self-service analytics using data from across the enterprise. Prometheum offers multiple methods for creating data products. The first is a no-code mode, where users leverage a UI-based workflow to quickly build datasets. The second is a SQL mode, where code-first users can simply write queries in a standard ANSI SQL syntax. This allows them to query data sources from across the organization, developing federated queries without the headaches of needing to translate the syntax into the idiosyncratic dialects of upstream source systems. And the last method is using Prometheum's Reasoner, its AI-powered query development engine. With the Reasoner approach, users simply need to ask their questions in natural language and let Prometheum handle figuring out the translation to SQL and the selection of the relevant assets. You can use the Reasoner across the whole landscape, but for performance purposes here, I'm going to scope down the assets the Reasoner will consider to the analytics domain, where I know the data team has prepared some assets for me to interrogate. I might be interested in understanding how our products' margins are performing across different regions, across different categories, or even by different shipping modes. So if I want to create a data set and some charts to help me understand this margin behavior, I can simply ask that question in natural language. What is average margin by country, by category, where ship mode is first class? And what Prometheum's AI engine is going to do is parse this question, look for similar metadata across the metadata repository that Prometheum has crawled, inferring additional context and business metadata using AI, and then create the SQL statements to operate over those selected assets to create my data set. So we can see that Prometheum has grabbed a table from Oracle, Postgres, and Snowflake, bringing some order information along with customer details and products details. We can run this query very quickly to see if the results are what we're looking for, and use this diagram to look at the steps that Prometheum is taking during this process. So we can see the aggregations that is happening, as well as the filters that are occurring. Prometheum's AI is not a black box. It'll offer very clearly an explanation of the tokens it found in your question, as well as the tables it considered, the columns and joins it considered to get to this final statement. We can even drill down into this logic to see what are the fields that exist in the transformations implemented at each step. And we can notice that, despite the column in the Oracle orders table being called profit, Prometheum was able to grab it as a stand-in for margin due to the existence of this business tag, which allows users from across the organization to leverage the Prometheum system regardless of the language they use, and able to use the terms with which they are most comfortable. So what do we do now that we have our results? Well, we could download this to our local machine if we want to do some analysis, or we can publish this out. We can publish this as a view so we can ensure no data is being moved and all of the data remains in the upstream source systems. And then we can return to our Data Explorer, which serves as that search engine which helps in the development of these data products, to look at this data product we have put together. We can open this up in a new screen and drill down into its contents, right? Whether that's looking at the results that we saw earlier, productizing this by adding a description or using AI to help us add that description, leaving endorsements, or looking at the auto-generated insights. These insights could be consumed natively in Prometheum. They could also be connected to a third-party BI tool like Tableau or Power BI, or you could materialize the results in a warehouse like Snowflake or some other database like SQL Server, if that's where your analytics users live and would like to consume their data products from. Here, I'm going to show you how you could consume these insights natively in Prometheum by building an answer. We can see that we have our data set here where we can ask follow-up questions, or I can simply share this link to this answer with the relevant charts that Prometheum has created for me to other users. With that, Prometheum was able to rapidly help me answer a question despite not knowing SQL, and assisting me with the identification of relevant data, as well as the creation of the dashboard.